In 2019, the Galaxy Upgrade Optimus Prime was released. That was part of the War for Cybertron Siege toy line. In 2023, as part of the Legacy Evolution toy line, Leader Class Nova Prime was gifted upon us. How does this figure compare to this figure? Is this figure a figure that you will want in your collection? Stay tuned and find out. The Transformers Legacy Evolution Leader Class Nova Prime is really a tale of two cities. As a display piece, this figure is very nice. However, at least with my copy of this figure, once I started to interact with this figure and, put it through its runs, I kind of realized that this figure actually had a couple major problems. I'm going to talk about those problems in this unboxing and review, but first, here are some commercials from the Transformers of the 1980s.
The Transformers, more than meets the eye. Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons. The Transformers, more than meets the eye. The Transformers, robots in disguise.
Attack the Autobot commander! Call in the Decepticon leader!
Transformers, more than meets the eye.
The Transformers from Hasbro.
So, today I am doing the unboxing and review of the Legacy Evolution Leader Class Nova Prime. This figure was originally released from Amazon last year. I think I got it like September. I can't recall exactly when I bought it or when I got it, but when I bought it, it was originally $54.99. However, this figure is starting to become slightly more difficult to find, which is causing people to have to go to the third-party markets. On Amazon, you can actually find this figure for in the $230 range, which is a massive increase from the $54.99 that I paid for. However, you may have a little bit better luck depending on the seller and when the time of the month on eBay. You can actually find this figure on eBay for $149.99. Okay. So what is there about this figure? This figure is basically a repaint, slight retool with a different head sculpt of the of the War for Cybertron Siege Galaxy Upgrade Optimus Prime. Basically, they come with the same accessories, except I rehomed a couple accessories for the Optimus Prime figure. That's why he may look slightly different. But they have all the base accessories, everything from the little, I'm not sure what these things are called, like brass knuckles, I guess you could really call them, to that's the like little blaster. Hey, here's an issue that I have right now, ladies and gentlemen. I was going to talk about this later. One of the QC issues is that the leg on this figure is very weak. It comes off almost without any issue at all. And I think, I sad to say, I think it may actually just broke off. Hold on, let me see if I can fix it. And the problem is with my fat fingers, not that easy. Okay, I got it back on. But you got to be careful because if you twist the leg or you can try to do it like a thigh swivel, leg comes off. But anyway, back to where I was. So basically, this figure comes with all the same accessories that the Galaxy Upgraded Optimus Prime comes with. Like I said, the only difference is if you see the wings in the picture, you'll notice that there's a couple little good blasters. Those are just something I added. But yeah, so there is nothing actually new about this figure, just a different head sculpt and the change out of the wings. Let's see here. But yeah, so that is what what I'll be doing the unboxing and review of. So stay tuned. I'll be right back.
It is a world transformed, where things are not what they seem. It is the world of the Transformers.
Transformers, more than meets the eye. Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons. Transformers. Robots in disguise. Transformers. More than meets the eye.
The Transformers from Marvel Comics.
When it comes to unboxing of this figure actually came in one of those weird, unique boxes that kind of reminds you of like a pizza delivery box. The artwork is superb, and I actually still have my box here. If I actually had space to save these boxes and everything, this would definitely be a box I would like to save because I love the artwork. But sadly, space is kind of at a minimum when it comes to saving boxes. So once this review is done, the box is sadly going to go its way, But anyway, on the back of this figure, or this box, I should say, it is your standard fare. You have a picture of him in his primary mode. You have the Optimus Prime white cab mode underneath, and then you have his alt mode, the truck mode. It looks like it takes 18 steps to convert Optimus Prime from his primary mode to his alt mode. And then it's also 13 steps to convert just the cab portion from primary to alt mode. On the right side of the box, if you're holding it from the back, you have the chambers portion of the image here, where the Transformers kind of where they like it's like a chambers, I guess you could, like a court chamber, I guess. But here you have that. On the left, or on the top, sorry, it is your standard Legacy Evolution fare. Nothing different here, except it is a little bit more of the on the right hand side. As you're looking at the top, you have some more of that courtroom, or whatever you want to call it. On the left side, it's your standard Legacy Evolution image, poster, whatever you want to call it. Nothing different there. This is the same image that was used the entire Legacy Evolution throughout that entire product line. The only difference is when it comes to the Toxitron, and they kind of gave it like a little bit of a neon look to it, but the base image itself has not changed at all. So when we open up the box, this is what greets us. This is what I was kind of bummed about this, because I would have liked to actually have the figure be visible. What you get is like a little display inner box, but Nova Prime, he is actually covered in a lot. I'm not just talking about a little, but he was actually covered in a lot of like a tissue paper tissue, or whatever you want to call it. So not only was he covered in a lot of tissue paper, the accessories were actually also wrapped up elsewhere in the box. The sad thing is, not sure if you can actually tell, but the display inner box here that you can see, it's actually upside down. It's supposed to be the other way, because if you look in the upper left corner of the display box, you can see the Legacy Evolution logo, but it's upside down. They put the figure in the wrong way. What came in the box, ladies and gentlemen? Because I know a lot of people, this is what I love about these videos. I gotta show what came in the box. What came in the box? You have the 2 shoulder pads. You have the 2 huge black blasters. You have the forearm, whatever the things. I think they're like, I'm not sure what they're called, but I like to think of them in like, say, brass knuckles possibly, but they're not, And then you have the blaster. However, if you also want to consider it to be an accessory, which I really don't, because of the fact it's part of the figure itself, you have the whole wing and chest assembly also. When the figure is totally decked out in all his accessories, he actually looks like what you see in this picture. I like visually, like I said, I like the figure. I just wish that I put this figure on the shelf once I got him out of the box, because if I did, then I would have never known that this figure has some severe problems. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, when we return after these commercials, upcoming Transformers commercials, I should say, we will be going through the conversion process. Stay tuned, and I'll be right back.
The Transformers, more than meets the eye. Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons. The Transformers, more than meets the eye. The Transformers, robots in disguise.
Attack the Autobot commander! Call in the Decepticon leader!
Transformers, more than meets the eye.
Transformers, sold separately from Hasbro.
Okay, everybody. Up next, we have the conversion portion of the video. Now, due to the fact that the conversion of, or the transforming, or whatever you prefer to call it, of this figure actually took quite a long time, I'm actually going to upload it as its own individual video. You can find that video in the corner link right there. But overall, the conversion was difficult. To convert it from mainly from primary to the alt mode was the most difficult part. You have to be able to get certain parts to clip, peg, into other parts, and when you need small, narrow fingers, big honking hands like mine, it's kind of hard, ladies and gentlemen. It's kind of hard. You will actually see that entire process in the video that I will be linking. However, convert this figure from alt mode back to primary mode, that was actually the easiest part of the whole experience. I'm sad to say, ladies and gentlemen, once I get done reviewing this figure is actually going to go on the shelf back there or right there. I have a couple shelves that you can't see, but it's going to go on one of those shelves, and I'm never really going to interact with it again. It is a nice display piece. But that's all, ladies and gentlemen, especially with the QC issue I have with the leg. I'm afraid to actually move that leg because I'm afraid any more movement, it's going to fall off and it's not going to be able to be put back on. One of the major issues I have is the chest does not feel like it securely locks into place. No matter how much force you push down to try to get it to tab, it just does not tab. It will always... It sounds like it does, but it's not firm. It's not firm. I'm not sure if that's just the way it is for everybody or if it's this copy, but it feels like it just kind of lays in there. It doesn't actually feel like when it pegs in, it doesn't feel like it's like, okay, we got this, dude. I'm not going to let go. However, I found out when I was converting this figure from alt mode back to primary mode, I found out that the pegs for the wings that peg to the body itself are very secure. I thought I am pegged, and then I started to convert this figure back, only to find out the wings were still pegged in. Wow, that is one that was very firm. I gotta give them credit for that. I just wish that the rest of the process for this figure was as secure as those wings were. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. When I return after these upcoming commercials, it will be my final review of this figure. So stay tuned and I'll be right back.
Tired of losing battle after battle in the sky, the Autobots create the ultimate robot jet. Jetfire.
The Transformers, more than meets the eye.
But the evil Decepticons have a secret new weapon, Shockwave.
The Transformers, robots in disguise.
Get behind the Shockwave will stop him!
The Transformers,
From Hasbro.
Okay, everybody, it is now time for the review. I actually did a pre-record of my thoughts regarding this figure. and I'm going to share them with you in a brief second. I do want to say I apologize about the lag of the video. I use a different computer that's in the studio compared to this one, and so there is a little bit of a visual lag. I apologize about that. But yeah, so here are my final thoughts about this figure. When it comes to the Legacy Evolution Leader Class Nova Prime, this is a nice figure. The presentation, I have to say, I have never seen anything like it before. The box is very unique. It reminded me kind of like of a pizza box. It's similar to what the Code Red figure came in. That was the 2023 Transformers crossover with Stranger Things. It had that kind of box, if I remember correctly. This figure came in a nice box where you had to kind of open it up like a pizza box, which is nice. I like that. The artwork on the box was also awesome. The figure itself, I love the gold accents. Prominently, you can really see it on the hands. You can see it on the top of the wings right here, and what right here. You got some on the belt and on the waist. I like the gold. The whites are pretty vibrant. The dark colors don't overpower anything. It kind of serves its purpose. Even the metallic blue coloring on the cannons and the windows are a nice touch. This figure, of course, since it is a legacy figure, you know it's going to have good articulation. It has the same articulation that was really made famous in the War for Cybertron trilogy. This figure has a total of 5 accessories. It has the gun that you can unplug from the cannon. It has the gun you can unplug from the cannon. It actually has the gut blasters I have attached to the legs. That's 3. And then you got the little I'm not sure what these are. They're kind of like arm guards or whatever. So you got 4 and 5. 5 accessories. Not bad at all. The wings are a nice touch, but considering I have this as a positive, but the thing is, it kind of falls under both the positives and the negatives, and I'll explain why when I get to that. But I like the coloring of the wings. The wings are nice, don't get me wrong. It's nice to get a unique character. To date, this character has had only 3 other releases, if I remember correctly. I went to TF Wiki when I was putting together this information, and I think that this is either the 3rd or the 4th, but it has had really not that many releases, which is nice because nowadays we can't help but just get saturated with Optimus Primes, Megatrons, Starscreams, the core figures. We get those a lot, but it's nice when we actually get a figure. There you go. It's nice that when we get a figure that actually we don't get a lot of. So, like, say this guy or the Trigger Cons that we got in throughout the Legacy trilogy. Let's see here. And I'm not sure what you refer to him as. So I refer to it as the base Optimus Prime figure. It is the deluxe. I think maybe it's a Voyager class. It's Optimus. No, maybe it is deluxe. But anyway, it is the Optimus Prime that is underneath all the armor. I like that figure. I like it a lot. Now, when it comes to the negatives, there are 3 issues. There are 3 issues. And the first one I'm going to talk about is not really that much of a it's not that much of an issue. It's just something I wish that they could have done something about. The wings. Holy cow. When it comes to the wings, I really wish that the wings were articulated where you could actually fold them down. That would have been nice. Similar to like what they did with the Transmetal Legacy Evolution Megatron. where you could actually, collapse the wings, or you could have them, kind of jetting out. I would have liked that if they did something with this. Transformation from primary to alt mode is a bit difficult with a couple of steps. Mainly, it's when you're trying to reconnect the trailer to the truck itself. That was very difficult for me, and there's a couple times I wasn't sure I was going to be able to get it done. I thought for sure I was going to just kind of have to do this review with the trailer being detached, but finally I was able to get it on. But we have a major QC issue, ladies and gentlemen. The right leg for my the right leg of my figure, the measuring peg is not strong enough to hold the leg. So if you try to do the whatchamacallit, the like say like a leg like a hold on, there you go. Oh, you didn't see it. If you do a leg swivel, let me see if I can reattach it. I'm just afraid that it's not gonna stay on if I keep using this leg. Hold on. Okay, so I got the leg on. But if you start like doing a leg swivel, it just comes right off. That is a major, major problem. And it doesn't even look like it's meant to do that. I get a feeling this isn't a gimmick like how Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnets can come apart. It does not feel like that. This literally feels like it is a QC issue. And if that's the case, I'm wondering exactly how many of these figures have that problem. And due to it being so close to a joint, I'm afraid to use anything that could help reinforce that location, like say wood floor polish or fingernail polish. I'm afraid to use anything because I'm afraid it could actually get into the joint itself and prevent the leg from turning. Then I'd have even a bigger problem. I just cannot risk that. Finally, I'm not even when it goes, because I know that this is a retool slight it's a retool slight recolor with a different head sculpt of Galaxy Upgrade Optimus Prime. I understand that, but let's this I am not a fan for this figure. I am not a fan of the oh, here, I can actually take this off now. Hold on. I am not a fan of the cannons. I'm just not. I'm just not. I know people may like them, and if you do, that's okay. That is okay. It is your right to like them. You bought the figure. It's your right to like them. Like it's my right to say if I don't like something if I bought it, Just think that these cannons kind of really hamper the wings. I really think that they should have just removed the cannons and kept everything else. I asked some members of a Facebook group that I'm in if these cannons are actually if they're actually getting canon to this character, because I looked on TF Wiki and I couldn't find any images with the comic character holding these cannons. I talked to somebody and they said that basically these are holdovers from Galaxy Upgrade Optimus Prime, which I already know, but they think that they kept the cannons because it would just cost too much to retool with these things being taken off. I looked at this and I think I could possibly remove it. But the thing is, the plastic just feels so flexible, so weak. I'm afraid if I started trying to remove the pin, I could do serious damage to the figure overall, and I just don't want to risk it. I just don't want to risk it. But yeah, so that's my thoughts. Like I said, this figure is a tale of two cities. When you first get out of the box, it's a nice thing to look at. It is an awesome figure to look at. But the longer you look at it, when you start interacting with it, if it has QC issues like mine does, then you start to see the underbelly basically of this figure. But yeah, so that is it. So back to the review. Okay, so I gave you my thoughts about the Legacy Evolution Leader Class Nova Prime. So let's just go over them a little bit, shall we? So for the positives, we have a unique display box and artwork. I showed you right here. I actually like this box. I think this is the way that all boxes should be from now on, going forward, where it's kind of closed, where it kind of opens up like a pizza box. It kind of opens up like that, and then you have all the things on the inside. I like this idea for the box. I would if Hasbro said we were going to get rid of the whole windowed box idea and just did boxes like this, I'd be happy with that. I love the artwork, the coloring. I love the golden accents. I cannot talk about how much I like the golden accents. It's done just enough. It doesn't overpower the figure. I like it a lot. Articulation. You have it's your typical articulation. Everything from the neck to the shoulders to the elbows, wrist even turned. The wrist turns. You got your wrist rotation. You have your legs. You have your knees. You have your ankles. Everything that you've come to expect from a War for Cybertron or a Legacy figure, this guy has. 5 accessories total. Granted, 4 of them are kind of duplicates. You have the little knuckle things here on the forearms. You have the blasters, and you got the little hand cannon, whatever you want to call it. The wings are a nice touch. I like the wings. This is a nice use of the mold. Yeah, I don't know anything about this figure or about this character, but he looks pretty nice. Once again, it's nice to get a unique character. I haven't seen many of this figure, and that's because they have not ever really released a lot of this guy. This is the 3rd ever figure of this character to be released. And I like the base Optimus Prime figure that is, covered up and everything. I like that figure. However, with the positives, there are some negatives. The negatives are the transformation from primary to alt mode is a bit difficult with certain steps. QC issues. Twice, I think in the video you just watched, the leg came off. And when I was also showing you guys the figure, the leg came off again. It is a severe QC issue. That means that, if I keep moving it and the leg keeps coming off, there could be a day where the leg cannot be reattached, and I dread that. And because of that, like I said, this figure is going to have to go onto the shelf where I will never really interact with it that much because I'm afraid that leg will come off and cannot be fixed. The chest plate for Nova Prime itself, it does not feel like it securely tabs in. The rarity causing higher prices. I would not think it, but this is actually apparently it's a very rare figure. On Amazon, when I pre-ordered it, it was $54.99. Now it's going for like $230. However, if you go on eBay, you can get it for a little over $100. So it depends on where you go to get this figure. Finally, I am not a fan of exclusivity of any figure. I think that everybody should have equal chances to get this figure. So it being exclusive to Amazon is already going to kind of ding it a few points for me. Because it not only is it exclusive, apparently they didn't release a lot of this figure, which is driving up the prices. It really just kind of kind of makes it look even worse, in my opinion. Finally, we have the pet peeves. This does not actually impact the figure. It's just something I don't like. I'm not a fan of the cannons. I'm not a fan of the cannons. I think the cannons could have been removed. Remove the cannons, keep the wings, and then articulate the wings. I think by keeping these cannons on with this figure, it really kind of, kind of hampered what you could do with these wings. I talked to a person that I know via a Facebook Transformers group, and he actually was able to remove the cannons. He talked about the process he used to do it and everything, but I just do not feel that comfortable, especially with how shaky my hands get sometimes. I don't want to risk damaging my figure, But I just can't help but think about how much nicer this figure would have looked if it did not have the cannons. All right, so that was my review of the Nova Prime Leader Class Nova Prime figure. I will be right back after these commercials. I will be giving you my final thoughts, so stay tuned. I'll be right back.
The Transformers, more than meets the eye. Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons. The Transformers, more than meets the eye. The Transformers, robots in disguise.
We're under attack! It's the Decepticons! Get more Autobots!
The Transformers, more than meets the eye.
Transformers from Hasbro.
We are approaching the end of this unboxing and review video, and now it is time for my final thoughts. I hope you can understand why I kind of said before that this figure is a tale of two cities. From just a visual look, this figure is actually very nice. It is. The golds are an awesome. Oh God, what's the word I used? God, I can't recall what the word was now. But the gold is a very nice touch. Gold is a nice touch. The white seems very vibrant, and the dark colors of the wings really kind of goes with the white. It feels. Oh God, I'm fumbling my words right now. I can't even think of the right word. The dark colors kind of just mesh with the white, but those QC issues. Once you start getting close to that figure and you start interacting with it, this is where the other city comes into talk. You start interacting with that figure and you just start seeing all QC problems. The chest, the leg issue. I don't even think I mentioned it, but some of the plastic on this figure even feels a little bit off. I'm just sad because this figure has so much potential. It has so much potential, and sadly, especially to that leg issue, I'd be willing to overlook the odd feeling plastic and the chest not feeling secure. I'd be willing to look through all that, but the leg issue is a major hindrance for me. And as always, I like to ask the question, I know that you have this question, should you buy this figure, yes or no? This is one that one of the figures that I've been kind of going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. For all the issues that this figure has, I have to say yes, but with an asterisk. If you are into lore building characters, like say IDW, I think that's what the correct term that comic book company was that developed this guy. If you are into characters that are mainly used for lore, you will want this guy. However, if you don't care about lore and you don't care about side characters, you're not going to want this figure. So, like I said, if you are into lore building characters, yes. Otherwise, I'm sorry to say it's a no. It's a no. I like the idea of this character. I heard that he was actually in a video game. Devastation, I think it's called. So I'm actually thinking about trying to find that game. But like I said, this figure, it's really only going to appeal to a certain group of Transformer fans, and that's mainly those who are into the more obscure characters, also characters that are lore kind of building characters. Yeah. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is it. I hope you have enjoyed this unboxing and review of the Legacy Evolution Leader Class Nova Prime. As always, if you like what you watch, which I hope that you did, and you're watching on YouTube, feel free to click that subscribe button, click the like and the bell. You'll be alerted when I release new content. If you're watching on Facebook, feel free to click that like button, and you'll be alerted when I release new content over there. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, because I have another special unboxing and review. I'm hoping to have it done and uploaded on Christmas, if not maybe a day late, but it's one this is a figure that I've had on my shelf behind me. Oh God, I think it's been just under a full year. I have a specific reason why I want to unbox and review this next figure. So until then, my name is Jeff, aka GCurse. Wishing you all a great day. Stay safe, everybody. Peace out.
To help them in the never-ending battle against the evil Decepticons, the Autobots create a new breed of robot, Dinobots.
More than meets the eye. Autobots, please